IAS Academy. Today we are going to deal with some basic concepts in ecology. As you know, for UPSC Civil Services exam in GS1 you are going to deal with the basic flora and fauna as part of geography, and also in GS3 you will be dealing with environment, impact, and also basics of ecology. So what is ecology basically? So ecology is the study of interaction between different organisms, and at the same time it's also the study of interactions between organisms and its surroundings. So today in this video we are going to look at few terms, and I'm going to explain to you what are the differences between the definition of these words. So firstly, the term environment. So the word environment is like an umbrella term. So whatever is around you is environment. You go to planet Mars, the Martian environment you can call it. Alright, so environment is basically the natural component in which biotic and abiotic factors interact among themselves and with each other. In a biological sense, environment constitutes the physical, biological factors along with the chemical interactions. So that means everything is included in that, even biotic and abiotic, which means nutrients, water, air, even organisms, biomolecules, even the chemical cycles which you might have learned in school, like the carbon cycle and nitrogen cycle, etc. So everything is included in the environment. So it's like an umbrella term. So all organisms are dependent on the environment to carry out their natural life processes and to meet the physical requirements like food, energy, water, oxygen, shelter, etc. So next term is habitat. Habitat is the physical environment in which an organism lives. So we are looking at this term from the perspective of a species. For example, let's take tiger. So a tiger's habitat is when a tiger is able to get food and also able to select a mate and reproduce successfully. So if these characteristics are met and it's able to survive and it's able to successfully reproduce, then you can call that area as tiger's habitat. Same goes for plants. Let's say if you are talking about plants, then it means enough, you are getting enough sunlight, enough water, and such kind of things. So many habitats make up the environment, but and a single habitat may be common for more than one organisms which have similar requirements, which means some species might have similar requirements, like similar kind of food they will be feeding on. So that could happen, but basically we are looking at it from one species perspective. For example, one example would be aquatic habitat. Let's say for an example, if we are taking a pond. So in this pond there will be different organisms, right? Fish will be there, frog will be there, like that different species will be there. So that's aquatic, there will be aquatic habitat will be there. So in that sense, one habitat may support different species. Now the various species sharing a habitat does have the same address. So when you say habitat, you can define it as the address of a species. Now what is the difference between habitat and environment? So habitat always has life in it. So life is the defining characteristic of habitat, whereas the environment does not necessarily have life in it. Just like I told you before, whatever is around you is environment. So all habitats are environments, but all environments are not essentially habitat. So habitat is always a preference of one species, and environment could be preference of many species that could eventually become many habitats. So usually it's the environment that's governing the properties of the habitat and not vice versa. So next term is biosphere. So biosphere, for biosphere the defining characteristic is life. So life is essential to be called as biosphere, and it is going to include earth, land, water and air. That is lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere is going to be those are essential characteristics of a biosphere, and it includes all living organisms on earth together with the dead organic matter produced by them. And you cannot find biosphere in extreme weather conditions. For example, you cannot find them in poles, and you cannot also find them in like high altitude areas like in mountains, because life is it's not possible for life to sustain, and also you cannot find them in deep oceans. And life is the characteristic feature of the biosphere, just like I've told. Fine. So the next term is ecosystem. So ecosystem can be visualized as a functional unit of nature. So here a living organism, living organisms including producers, consumers and decomposers, everything is going to interact among themselves and also with the surrounding physical environment. So what you have to note here is that it is a functional unit of nature, right? So it can be of any size, but usually it's going to encompass specific and limited species. Like you can call as aquatic ecosystem, or like different ecosystems can exist. So this is how ecosystem is different from environment. So in the ecosystem, biotic and abiotic components are linked together through nutrient cycles and energy flows. This, like I said, is a functional unit of nature, you can see. So everything that lives in an ecosystem is dependent on other species. So here, as like there is going to be constant interaction between whatever species is located there, whatever abiotic and biotic components, there is going to be interaction. As I said, it's a functional unit of nature. So once, if there is any kind of damage that's caused to any of the species or any of the components, then it's going to affect the entire ecosystem. There is going to be an impact on everything else. So these are the characteristics of the term ecosystem. So that's all about it. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and search Believers IAS Academy and you will be able to find our logo. Just please subscribe that if you want to watch more videos like this. And you can also search Believers IAS in both Telegram and Instagram and you will be able to find us there. And there we are going to upload a lot of data, including Facebook also. We are going to upload, we are going to give you quiz, current affairs, editorials, blog articles, infographics and much more. So thanks for watching the video. Thank you.